After the success of the previous Christmas special, Moffat thought, I know what I'll do. I'll do another one this year. And what do we get next? The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. Come on, try and guess what story this is based off. Madge Arwell comes to the aid of an injured space angel, who is of course the Doctor, who promises to repay her kindness. All she has to do is make a wish. 3 years later, Madge escapes war-torn London with her 2 children, spent in an old house in Dorset. Crippled with grief at the news of her husband has been lost over the English Channel, she wishes to give her children the best Christmas ever. They are then greeted by the Doctor, who acts as their caretaker. However, a mysterious Christmas gift from him leads them into a wintry, magical wonderland. But does this winter wonderland seem safe enough to walk around? I'm going to comment on one floor of this episode out of the way first, because I feel like this needs to be addressed. Again, much like A Christmas Carol, I was looking forward to this special. However, I did not know that it wouldn't be as good as the previous one. The only reason this episode may not do as well is pretty obvious. It's already been done before. We already had a Christmas classic based episode last year, so this year wouldn't feel the same way, which does become a trend in Moffat's writing when it comes to dialogue, story arcs, or twists that change nothing about the plot, which all of them together do get noticeable in series 7, 8, and 9. And when this episode came out, some thought it was okay at first, but upon multiple viewings, everyone started to see the flaws in this special. Like the Doctor, who said to keep himself in the shadows after Series 6, starts off in an exploding ship. All the physics and rules and how the trees plan works, and of course how this family seems to work out when it comes to their relationship, personalities, and how they are written. Okay, now that's out of the way, I'll get to the good and the bad of this special. Again, I like the idea of bringing an element of a popular story into Doctor Who, and in this case, it's bringing the world of Narnia. The planet actually looks beautiful, even though it's obviously a snow forest in a studio. Some of the production in the episode is well crafted and decently executed, but I can't help but think that there is a slight decrease in the show's budget. And yeah, the opening 10-20 minutes of the episode is pretty good, from the exploding ship sequence to the Doctor acting as the caretaker. Speaking of which, once again Matt Smith is having a great time in this special. The scenes for him which stand out to me are him showing the family around the house to reveal every contraction he's had it in. I liked watching him work with Claire Skinner and Lily, whether in the house or in the forest. And yeah, everyone might be talking about it, but the ending scene where the Doctor decides to go and join Amy and Roy for Christmas is really touching. I don't think we've ever had an episode where the Doctor goes to join his companions for Christmas since the Christmas Invasion or Runaway Bride, or at least ones from the 21st century. Claire Skinner does fine as Madge. I think the scene with her helping the Doctor to the TARDIS is always enjoyable to watch, since she seems to work really well with the quirky, snarky but helpful woman. And I guess some parts of her acting after the departure of her husband is okay, but I cannot escape the fact that maybe the actress doesn't know what character she is meant to portray, and some of her acting does come off a little corny at times. Actually, I just realised, the scenes with her and the Doctor at the TARDIS are the best scenes with the both of them together, while everything else is just meh. Now let's talk about the characters. Well, not bad characters, but I can see every single one of them has a problem. For example, Claire Skinner doesn't know how she is meant to portray a character, the children are either not fully developed or just plain bad actors, while other celebrity cast characters are just wasted. I mean, the Androzani miners all looked like interesting people, and I really wanted to know more about them. But all they did was arrive, give explanation, and then Moffat literally teleported them away. Which is a real shame because I wanted to know more about those characters, and they were played by well professional comedy actors. There's Alexander Armstrong who plays the father, and he's just wasted. Yeah, a year after the Sarah Jane Adventures ended, and this is the first time we see the actor who played Mr. Smith in the Doctor Who universe, and we still can't see him. The supercomputer got more screen time than the actual actor? What the hell? And I need to ask this question. How many of you were a little creeped out by how he and Claire Skinner's character actually first meet each other? The children, while Lily was done pretty okay and she worked really well alongside Matt Smith, whilst all Cyril did was just look googly-eyed with little to no personality from his performance. No offense to the actor or any other child actors that age, but I'm sorry, I got nothing from that character. If you're gonna have someone like Cyril as the center, then you at least need to get an actual good actor to play him. Just putting a pair of giant lens glasses on a little boy does not help. The tree creatures, while amazing to look at, and it would have been nice to see how they were made if Confidential didn't end, what do? Nothing. All they do is walk and stand around. I mean, the Tree King looked intimidating on that throne, but once they got into the tower, they just stayed stiff. No pun intended. Plus, how did they know that a human family would be able to arrive on their planet to save their civilization by chance? And while the idea of an alien escape is refreshing, but what exactly is their plan? Which is what this episode does sometimes have. Too many questions, like, here's a good one, where has the original caretaker gone? But for me, the main issue with this special is that it didn't feel like Christmas all the way through. Sure, it has snow, it has trees, it has decorations, but nothing said Christmas to me except for that ending scene. Now you might say that Voyage of the Damned didn't feel like Christmas, it had disasters, people dying and destruction, sure, but it still had scenes where it did feel like Christmas. It had a Christmas party, it had dancers, singers, music, games, and there was never a moment in which I didn't feel like it wasn't Christmas. Whilst in The Doctor, the Widow and the Wardrobe, all we got was the ending scene, which, again, I would have wanted to see more of. Plus, for a Christmas special which is also to give a moral at the end, I have no idea what the moral was in this one, because we have the episode end in a happy ending that we can see coming a mile away. Again, Moffat did have some confidence in his writing, but then he got sidetracked halfway through and forgot about what made him want to write this story in the first place. Is it the worst Christmas special? No, not even close. It's just forgettable. There are some good visuals, some good acting from our main leads, and a few funny and sweet moments, but there isn't really that much to remember from it, except from that ending scene. Do I recommend it? Well, maybe for younger kids, but I'd say you might as well check it out before you move on to Series 7. Not hating it, not loving it, it is what it is, so I'd say take it for what it's worth.